Hey guys, welcome back to another Battlefront 2 video. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking every hero from worst to best. If you haven't checked out my ranking every villain from worst to best, make sure to watch that after you've watched this. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and if you can, turn on post notifications. And just before we get into this, I want to let you know that this list will be my own personal opinion. So if you don't agree with some of the placings or anything, please don't obliterate me in the comments. But anyway, before we get into this, make sure to do all those things and enjoy.
Here comes Finn.
Okay, so starting us off as the worst hero in the game is Finn. And although I don't think Finn is bad, I don't think he's anywhere near good. Let's start with his abilities. So his big deal ability, it buffs his health as long as the his team around him buffs their health as well. But it's nothing too extra. But it can come in handy when you really need it. His Deadeye ability, on the other hand, I think that's his best ability. I think it's really good for like scoping people out and all this. This is what I think. And his undercover team ability, it switches his regular blaster to a pistol blaster. And if I have to be completely honest, I don't think this does much. I actually think that the pistol blaster is a bit worse than the regular blaster, but this is in my opinion. So if you don't think the same way, like if you don't agree, make sure to let me know in the comments below why. And Finn's regular blaster, I would have to say is like one of the worst hero blasters in the game. Like it's not, if I have to be honest, it's not too much above the regular resistance blaster. But yeah, that was Finn. Let's get into the next one. So in the number 9 spot we have Chewbacca. And Chewbacca is one of those heroes that I expect to be like good, but he's not really good. I'll explain why in his abilities. So for his ability Charge Slam, it's good for knockback damage and all this, but not as good as something like Luke's shockwave thing. His shock grenade, I think that's horrible. I'm not even gonna lie, I think that's awful. And I personally prefer the specialist one. His Furious Bowcaster, I think that's the ability that puts him above people like Finn, and that's all. But yeah, his Furious Bowcaster, that melts people, and yeah, that's all for Chewie. Okay, so in the number 8 spot, we have Lando. And before I say anything about Lando, I just want to say that I love how Lando's pistol has a thermal scope on it. That's all. I'm just saying that because I think it's amazing. Okay, so anyway, let's get into this. So Lando's disable ability is okay for finding enemies from behind walls and all this. I don't think it's that good for stunning. His smoke grenade, on the other hand, I love this because you can use it in a defensive way and in an offensive way. You can escape using a smoke grenade because they can't see you through that. When you throw a smoke grenade in front of a villain, I'm pretty sure lightsaber villains, they can't swing as far at you. And last but not least for the smoke grenade, you can combine it with Lando's sharp shot ability for like an amazing combo. Now onto Lando's sharp shot ability. I find that this is one of the best in the game actually. Better than Finn's target lock on, because you can lock onto a whole what is it? You cannot lock onto a whole group with this and kill them in 1 or 2 shots. Like, I just find that this ability is amazing for Lando. So that was Lando. Let's get on to the number 7.
What I'm doing.
So next up in the number 7 spot, I have Han Solo. And before I get into this, I know this might be a bit annoying, but in the comments below, tell me if you say Han Solo or Han Solo, because there's a bit of confusion with that. But anyway, getting into Han, let's talk about Han's shoulder charge. And to me, I think that Han's shoulder charge really isn't good for anything other than killing either AI in co-op or offline, or regular infantry. I think most of the time if you're playing it online and you're after infantry, his shoulder charge will do damage, won't kill them. Next, onto his thermal detonator. On the other hand, his thermal detonator is great for clearing out rooms, and even if you're in heroes versus villains, it's still amazing for taking out villains. Now onto Han's sharpshooter ability. I think that the sharpshooter ability, because it's fully automatic, it just adds to the OP-ness of Han's blaster. Because Han's blaster is one of the main reasons why he's up higher than Lando and Chewie on all this. Because his blaster is just amazing. Like, if I have to put it in one word, amazing. But the sharpshooter ability, it just adds to the OP-ness of his blaster, if I have to say so myself. And yeah, that was Han. Let's get into the number 6 spot.
I got a hunch.
So in the number 6 spot, I have Leia. And this might be a bit of a surprise to people, but the reason why I have Leia in the number 6 spot and not someone like Han is because I've always been better with Leia than opposed to Han or Lando. I'm not saying Han and Lando are bad, I'm just saying that I've always been better with Leia. But anyway, getting onto her abilities, her shield, it's nothing too special. Like, there's nothing bad about it, but there's nothing good about it either. It's pretty generic. I think it's kind of a waste of an ability spot, because you can just get the exact same shield from the specialist class. Leia's flash grenade, I think that's good for blinding enemies, not so much damaging them. Like, I think it damages them a bit, but they just regain that small amount of health back. But Leia's rapid fire, I know a lot of people will disagree with me on this, but I actually really like it. And I think if you hit all headshots with it, and if you're good with aiming, then I think that you're able to melt villains and even infantry. But yeah, that was Leia in the number 6 spot. Let's get on to the number 5. So in the number 5 spot, I've got Rey. And the reason why Rey's in the number 5 spot is not to be mean to any of the Rey mains, but I think Rey is like the definition of a mid-ranged hero. Not saying she's bad or anything, I'm just saying that I prefer 4 more heroes above her. But anyway, let's get into her abilities. So her Jedi mind trick, I would have to say, is way better than Obi-Wan's mind trick. Like, if I have to be honest, it's better in tricking people, unless you're a pro and you know how to counter it. It's great for trapping people and all this. Her dash strike, I have nothing against it, but I prefer other people's dash strikes. And her inside ability, I don't think it's bad. I think it's good for showing enemies and getting the flank on them and all this, but I think that she could have had a better ability. But to me, Rey's really balanced. Like, I think she's good in all ways, abilities and lightsaber attacks. So other than that, let's get into the number 4 spot. So in the number 4 spot, I've got Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I think that Obi-Wan's good, not in attack, but in defense. Mainly because of his defensive stamina. But yeah, so let's get into his abilities. So Obi-Wan's defensive rush ability is, I would say, a bit better than Rey's, in my opinion. But Rey's is still good. That's really good. His all-out push, I think when charged up, is amazing, but I think it takes a long time to like push someone, so I would prefer force push from like Yoda or Luke or something. And oh, sorry, I'm just a bit tired. And his restricting mind trick, it's good. I find Rey's works more than Obi-Wan's, but Obi-Wan's is good in his own way, with like not allowing the other person to use their abilities, while Rey's mind trick is like moving opposite way, invert and all this. But yeah, so that was Obi-Wan. I have one more thing to say though about Obi-Wan. I think that his defensive stamina is just amazing, and I know you probably already know that, and yeah, all that jazz, but I just had to say that. Let's get into our top 3 off right now. So in my number 3 spot, I have Luke Skywalker. And the reason why I put Luke in the number 3 spot is because, I don't know how else to put this other than he's amazing. Like, Luke's abilities, which are rush. His rush ability is really good for taking out lines of enemies. His force push is probably the best in the game, if I had to say so. I think that his is really nice, how you can use it in the air and all this. And his repulse ability, I think that it's better than Chewbacca's ground slam. I think it covers more ground and it's more powerful, I'm pretty sure. So all those are ups, as well as Luke's speed. I'm pretty sure, if I can remember the speed ranking I saw, it was Luke Skywalker is the fastest character in the game. But yeah, Luke's speed combined with his attacks and his abilities just form him into one of the best heroes in the game. Other than that, let's move on to our number 2 spot. So in my number 2 spot, I have Yoda. And the reason why Yoda's in my number 2 spot is because of his abilities combined with his amazing block. I'll get into his block in a second. Let's just start off with his abilities. So Yoda's abilities consist of his dash rush attack, which is I would say the best dash in the game, because Yoda's dash is able to break through blocks like Darth Vader's and all this. I think that's really powerful. Yoda's force push, I would say, would be the second best in the game because it's quick, but it's also powerful. And his presence ability, which is I think that's great if you're working in a team with people. I think that can really come in handy, or in HVV when you're in a group, that could come in handy. I'll talk about his block now, okay? So his block I think is amazing because you're able to absorb blaster bolts as well as force powers. But I've noticed that when you absorb force powers, it lasts longer than when you absorb blaster bolts. But yeah, that was Yoda. I hope that you agree with him, like with me on this one, because I think he's really deserving of the top 2. But anyway, let's get into the top 1 spot. So in the number 1 spot, I obviously had to put Anakin Skywalker. And to me, I would have to say about Anakin, I would have to say that he's the perfect hero. Like his passionate strike is great for hitting enemies when you run out of stamina. His pull dominance is amazing, but combined with his heroic might, I think that's just like the most annoying combo, but it works so well. And I think that his retribution ability, like I'm not even joking, I think that's 199% the best like ability in the game. Like you can't get any better than that. When you walk into a room full of enemies, you click triangle or whatever you click, he does the ability. It's just so satisfying to see everyone go. I think he's amazing in every mode, and yeah, this really sums Anakin up. But I think overall Anakin's like the best hero in the game, and unless anyone new comes in, it's gonna stay that way. Alright, that sums it up for this Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you would like to see any more ranking videos like this. I will be sure to do more ranking videos, like reinforcements, vehicles, any of that. I can do heroes and villains all together if you would like. And yeah, I hope you like this. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you all next time.